Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we'll be continuing with the topic Ashoka's edict, of your chapter number 7, Mauryan Empire. Ashoka began to issue edicts after the 12th year of his reign. He has started to issue the edicts written, whatever he is thinking, whatever thoughts he was having. So he started to edict it. These edicts proclaimed his ideas, right? Whatever he was thinking on various matters, such as religion, good governance, and correct conduct towards one another. The edict were sent to all provinces of his empire, everywhere, whatever area was there in his control, in that places. He got them engraved on rocks and pillars so that people could read them easily and come to know about the noble ideas of the king, what the king was thinking, what he wanted that the people should do and what they should not do. All these things was being engraved on the rocks and pillars. The edicts were in Prakrit language but were generally written in Brahmi script. Some of his edicts found in Afghanistan were also inscribed in the Korosti and Greek languages, right? Which the languages was being spoken in the places. The main purpose of this edict was to bring his subject out of ignorance and show them the right path, the way of behaving, the way people have to work and how they have to live. Right. Now, importance of Ashoka's inscription. Ashoka's edict shed light on various aspects of Mauryan period. Now, extent of Ashoka's empire. We estimate the extent of Ashoka's empire from the places where his rocks and pillar inscriptions have been found. Which of the places the rock and pillar inscriptions were found? So that they are estimating that this may be the extent of his empire which was under his control. It is evident that his empire stretched from Kabul in the north to Mysore in the south, from Bay of Bengal in the east and to Arabian Sea in the west. So you can imagine that maximum part of our country was being covered. Then Ashoka's administration. From his edict, we come to know that Ashoka instructed his state officials to constantly tour the land and attend to people's grievances, right? Whatever problem they were having, their harassment is being done to them or what they are feeling, everything he wants to know. So he was sending his officials to get all kind of informations from the places. He constructed hospitals, roads with shady trees, got rest houses, and he made for travelers, those who were traveling and they were coming and resting in the places. He dug wells to provide drinking water. In other words, Ashoka's administration was so good that it set a precedent for future king to follow. Only they have to follow. Already Ashoka has set a good example for other kings also, that how they have to treat the people and how they have to work for the benefit of the people. Then welfare measures. From his edict, we learn much about Ashoka's character. He loved animals and humans alike. He restricted the slaughterings of animals in his kingdom. Animals were not being killed in his kingdom. And he made hospitals that cared for sick animals also. Not only for human being, but for animal also he was being taken care of. Then, he worked for the welfare of his people. He write in the Kalinga edict, all men are my children. And just as I desire for my children that they should obtain welfare and happiness both in this world and the next, the same do I desire for all men. Every person wants the best for their children, right? Nobody wants that their children are going to suffer for any kind of thing. Okay, not only here, but for, he was telling about this world also and the next, right? So they were believing for the life after death also. So he wants that people should get benefit for each and everything. They should work. Now he was treating each and every person in his kingdom as a children, as his children, right? Then comes your Mauryan administration. Mauryan rulers were good administrators. They took several steps for the welfare of their subject. The silent features of their administration were central government, king and his ministers. The king was what? The king was the head of the government. He ruled from the capital of city, that is Patliputra. Okay, Patliputra was his capital city from where he was ruling. Now it is being called as Patna. There was a council of ministers, that is Mantri Parishad. Now we are having so many ministers. In the same manner, the king were also having the council of ministers to help and advise him regarding all the matters, whatever things are happening regarding finance, how they should earn money, how they should help people, how the kingdom should be grown in different manners, like that. Beside these, the king appointed a number of officers. So many officers were there who carried out his order. Whatever order and edict he was giving, they were carrying that order, officers were carrying, and they were telling to the people what the king want regarding each and every matter. Provincial administration. The empire was divided into 4 big provinces, right? And already I told that Ashoka's empire was so large. It was extended from large area. So it was divided into 4 big provinces. Each province was ruled by a viceroy who was directly under the king. The king directly regarding his provinces, all provinces, right? So 4 provinces were there, then 4 viceroys were there. They were going to keep in mind all these things. The provinces were further divided into districts ruled by pradeshikas. Okay, so viceroy was there. Under him there were pradeshikas. They were also looking after the provinces. There were several other officers also who looked after the administration in the district regarding collecting of taxes, working for different matters, like that. Some collected tax and worked as a judge. Town were under officials called nagarkas, right? They so many areas were there, developed one, so towns were there, and they were being looked after by the officials. They were being given the name, that is nagarkas. Okay, now so you have in Mauryan administration, the work was so smoothly carried out and done that people were not having any kind of problem. And Ashoka, he was keeping in mind all these things. See here, beside it is being given the Barabar caves. Upstairs it is given Sachi Stupa, and the inscription, as I am telling, Ashoka's edict are written in so many manners, right? Like this is the pillar inscriptions, rock edict, pillar inscriptions, pillar edict, and the cave edict. Okay, so this is the pillar inscription. Means what? In whatever things he was thinking and he want to tell to the people, he was inscribing it on the, engraving it on the pillar. And stupa, see here, that is cave edict is there, rock edicts are there. In that also he was engraving these all things, and by that people were coming to know about so many different things and the thoughts of their king, what he was thinking, what he want from the people, that how they should behave, how they should live, like that. Okay, now, okay children, now we will be continuing with the Mauryan administration only in the next class, and we will be talking about the administrative department. Okay, here we have studied about the central government, his ministers and king, and provincial administration. Tomorrow, in the next class, we'll be going through with the administrative department. Okay, now thank you, children.